And we're back with some more LA Kings franchise mode, and in this one, we're going to try to get through at least the entire regular season, possibly even the playoffs. We're getting into year number 6 now, and this GM mode, let's be honest, has been going on for quite a while, so I want to try to get as much done as possible in as few episodes as possible, just to try to move this along. So before we start out, we'll review the lines, and then we will just, depending on what happens, we'll either go up to the trade deadline, or we'll go the entire regular season, and then possibly even to the playoffs in this video. So the first line, you have Olofsson, Turcotte, and Pastrnak. Second line, you have Ehlers, Byfield, and Ho. Third line, you have Athanasiou, Velarde, and Kaliev. And then the fourth line, you have Lawton, Kopitar, and Lowry. On defense, you have Clark and Doughty, Kulemin and Nazarov, Manson and Spence. Power play is Ehlers, Turcotte, Pastrnak, Byfield, and Spence with +5. And then you have Olofsson, Velarde, Ho, Clark, and Kulemin. On the penalty kill, you have Velarde and Ho, Manson and Doughty, and then Lawton and Kopitar with Kulemin and Clark. 4-on-4, you have Turcotte, Pastrnak, Clark, and Doughty, Byfield, Ehlers, Kulemin, and Nazarov, Velarde, Olofsson, Manson, and Spence. 3-on-3 is essentially the same. Extra attackers are Pastrnak and Ho. Shootout, Pastrnak, Kaliev, Ehlers, Ho, and Doughty. In goal, Shesterkin and Markkanen. Scratched are Luff, Gooley, and Patan. So we are halfway through the season now, and there's really not much of a reason to change anything. I am thoroughly impressed with this team. As you see, Keith Ho, he has been phenomenal this season. That entire second line really has been great. Glad that we kept Keith Ho. He has certainly turned it on this season. 45 points. He is crushing his point totals for last year. Only 31 in the entire season. He already has 45, and we're only halfway through. So he certainly is making a name for himself there in the top 6. Along with Quinton Byfield, he's having a great season as well. Point per game. 40 points in 40 games. Ehlers pretty much there as well. 39 points in 40 games. So really that second line has been phenomenal all year. Even the first line's been great too. Just not as good as the second line for whatever reason. I don't know why, but for some reason the second line just decided to turn it on this year. And defense, I mean, there's not much point scoring going on besides Doughty, but you know what, that's fine. As long as we're winning games, we appear to be a very good team. Unfortunately, Shesterkin doesn't have the greatest save percentage right now, but I can let that slide, I suppose, because everywhere else we have been clicking. Because if we look at our record, we're 24, 11, and 5. And I mean, we don't exactly have a comfortable lead yet, considering 4 teams behind us. They're relatively close to us, actually. But I'm pretty confident that we can keep winning because I haven't really seen much of a reason to worry as of yet. I mean, the penalty kill, if I'm not mistaken, has been kind of weak compared to where I'd like it to be. I think it was like a 75%. Yeah, 75. So that's certainly odd, but the power play's been good. Like I said, I don't think there's been many games this year that have really concerned me too much as far as the final score goes. So I think we can just move through the entire season here, honestly. I mean, I tried to change up the penalty kill a little bit, but I think that's about it. I don't know if I want Kopitar on the penalty kill anymore, honestly. He's been kind of brutal defensively. What about Lawton? I mean, he's been okay. He's got 44 hits. That's a lot more than Kopitar. Ho should definitely stay there. Velarde should definitely stay there. Manson, Doughty, Kulemin, Clark. Yeah, I want all of them there. I think Kopitar's got to come off, honestly. And I think I'll put Byfield there instead. But besides that, I think we are, once again, good to go this season here. And the regular season has come to an end. We finished 47, 25, and 10. During October, we went 6, 4, and 3. During November, we went 8, 4, and 2. During December, we went 10, and 3. During January, we went 4, 5, and 2. During February, up until the trade deadline, we went 7, 3, and 1. And post-trade deadline, we went 12, 6, and 2. So really, the only concerning month was January. And even then, we bounced back pretty handily. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints going into the playoffs. As we check out the team stats, we were scoring a lot, 3.34 goals for per game. Goals against per game was at a 2.91, second lowest in the division. Power play definitely got worse as the year went on, so I suppose if it dries up in the playoffs, that's something we could look at. Penalty kill was honestly kind of brutal all year. 74.6, worst in the division, but we somehow still ended up with 104 points, second best in our division, so, you know, I'm not complaining, but I certainly, the special teams we're going to have to keep an eye on for sure in the playoffs. That is definitely going to be an area of concern. Again, I wish Shesterkin was better too, but at least he was consistent with the save percentage all year, so, at least we know what we're expecting out of him, I suppose. But you know what? Maybe he's one of those goaltenders who's better in the playoffs. And you know what? He's certainly proved that in the past, especially during the Stanley Cup winning year. He had a .936 save percentage in 24 games. So I have no reason to doubt Shesterkin that he will put up a better performance in the playoffs this year. At forward, you have Turcotte with 86 points leading the way. Then you have Pastrnak with 82. Keith Ho with 71. By far a career high. Glad we held on to him. 299 shots, almost 300 shots there. He was on the power play this year, and he did make the best of his opportunities. 178 hits, 127 takeaways. Wow. Keith Ho was certainly, it took him a while. It took him a little while, but Keith Ho is certainly coming to his own, it looks like, this year. 30-goal season, 70-point season. Phenomenal with the takeaways and giveaways. Olofsson with 70 points, Byfield with 68, Ehlers with 62, just contributions all around really at forward. Kaliev with 35 points, Velarde with 34, Athanasiou with 33, Kopitar with 27, Lowry with 22, Lawton with 21. And let's see, in the face-off circle, Turcotte with a 56.8, Kopitar with 52.5, Byfield with a 51.9, and Velarde with a 50.6. So we were pretty handy in the face-off circle. And physically, I mean, we have quite a few physical forwards here in the forms of Ho, Velarde, Turcotte, and Byfield. Turcotte, really. I was not expecting him to be a physical player, but it looks like, at least as of recently, 2 of the past 3 seasons, he's had over 100 hits. So, I mean, in this case, well over 100 hits. From a playmaker, that is certainly welcome. And then you also have Lawton and Athanasiou, who had over a hit per game. Certainly no lack of physicality here in LA. Defensive ratios, I mean, we saw Keith Ho's absurd ratio. And then Pastrnak, he was great too. Turcotte, Velarde, he was good. Athanasiou was good. Byfield could have been better, but he was good offensively this season, so I won't hold that against him. Kaliev was good. Kopitar was okay. He was decent. Lawton could have been better. Ehlers could have been much better, but once again, he was good offensively this season. Olofsson, same thing. Lowry, he was okay. Good on faceoffs when he needed to be as well. And defensively, Doughty finished with 44 points, Clark with 23, Spence with 20, Kulemin with 20, Manson with 15, Nazarov with 13, and Gooley played 7 games and got 2 points. Physically on the back end, you have Clark with 127 hits, Manson with 99, Doughty with 59, so we're not as physical on defense as I'd like to be, but I think the physicality of a few of our forwards makes up for that. And turnover-wise, you have Kulemin, that's a good ratio. Clark could be a lot better. Doughty could be better. Manson could be a lot better. Nazarov could be better, but he is a 19-year-old rookie, so I'll give him a pass there. Spence could be better. So really, the only one who I'm good with as far as turnovers go on the back end is Kulemin. And like I said earlier with Shesterkin and Markkanen, not really too impressive, but hopefully Shesterkin is the same that he was a few seasons ago in the playoffs. That being done, let us see who we have in the first round. And it will be the Arizona Coyotes. They are 47, 29, and 6. Almost the same record as us. Same amount of wins anyway. They were 7-3 and 0 in their last 10. And their first line is Blake, Keller, and Ramjic Singh. Second line is Schmaltz, Nuge, and Konechny. Third line is Waugh, Hayden, and Pitkinen. And the fourth line is Nemesnikov, Fabry, and Hinostroza. On defense, you have Ekman Larson and Soderstrom, Merrill and Pulock, Barry and Carlo. In goal, you have Copley and Grubauer, and scratched are Wallman, Mueller, and Lafferty. And I think with that, we are going to go straight into the playoffs. We are not ending this thing off right now. We are going all the way in this video. So here we go. Game 1 against the Arizona Coyotes, now underway. First period, that'll be a 1-1 tie with goals by Byfield and Pitkinen. Second period, you have a 2-1 lead for Arizona on a goal by Merrill. All right, third period, here we go. Shots of 28-19. I want to get some more shots on net there. And Pastrnak with the goal on Grubauer. That is what you like to see. Roughly halfway through the third period now. Come on, get some more shots. Only 22 shots. That is kind of brutal. Power play. Get something going. Yikes. We headed to overtime. It looks like it. You know. I just... That's unbelievable. Sammy Blais, with 1 second remaining, scores on Shesterkin. That is right when I thought we were going to overtime. The words were about to escape my mouth. But no, Sammy Blais had other plans. 3 stars of the game: Pastrnak, Blais, and Byfield. So that was certainly an unfortunate game number 1. Let's try to score more than 2 here in game number 2. First period, we have a 1-1 tie once again. Goals by Clark and Schmaltz. Second period, nothing doing for either team. Shots are 22-19 in favor of us this time. So let's try to carry that into the third period now, shall we? Come on, boys. It's a 5-on-3 power play. Please, how do you not convert? Come on now. Roughly halfway through the period now. 34 shots to 22. We're outplaying them, but they score. Sammy Blais again. Man, he's been a pain so far in this series, certainly. And are we gonna? Yes, we do. We lose this one 2-1 this time. So the scoring concerning so far this series for your LA Kings. 3 stars of the game: Grubauer, Blais, and Schmaltz. How's the power play doing? Yeah, we haven't scored on the power play yet at all. 0 for 8. I think we should at least change something a little bit up about that power play, considering this has been a very low scoring series so far, and it might make all the difference that we need. Only problem is we already have all of our best offensive players on the power play right now, so I don't really know who to put on and who to take off. I guess maybe Velarde could come off, but then who do I put on is the thing. Maybe Athanasiou, since he's that playmaker. I don't know. But they had similar point totals during the regular season, so I'm not sure how much of a difference that's actually going to make, especially since the chemistry doesn't appear to be much better, if at all. Maybe instead of Spence, I'll get Clark up there, so we have the +3 on 2 lines instead of the +5 and the +1. Yeah, we'll try that out. As for even strength, I kind of want to keep these lines together because we've been playing well defensively, but just offensively we are kind of struggling right now. Olofsson has nothing, Turcotte has nothing, Pastrnak has 1 goal, Ehlers with nothing, Byfield with 1 goal. Yeah, something's got to change. I'm not sure what. Could try switching it up with Ehlers and Olofsson, I suppose. All right, here we go. Going into game number 3. Hopefully those changes do something for us offensively, because the offense has not really been there in this series. First period, oh boy. 2 goals by Arizona. Ekman-Larsson and Schmaltz on Shesterkin. Second period, okay, there we go. That is what I'm talking about. There is the offense we've been missing. Olofsson with 2 goals, then Kuhlman, Manson, and Kuhlman again. And then, of course, Blais scores. He stays hot. But what an offensive explosion in the second period for your LA Kings. Going into the third period now, and things are looking good. Get me 1 more goal maybe, and I'll feel pretty comfortable here. Power play for your LA Kings, but Ekman-Larsson gets a shorthanded goal. Do not like to see it. From center ice, nonetheless, and Schmaltz with the game tire on the power play. Oh, no. No. And... oh, my goodness gracious. Pitkanen with the game-winning goal. And just like that, we are down 3-0 in the series. I don't know how that happened. That was an absolute disaster of a third period. I thought, with that second period comeback, I thought, this is our game. We're going to turn this series around, but nope. Then the third period happened, and Ekman-Larsson, Schmaltz, and Pitkanen just... oh, man. This is not good. 3 stars of the game: Schmaltz, Olofsson, and Ekman-Larsson. So I suppose those changes sparked us offensively, but certainly not defensively. Yikes. It wasn't even the power play that really helped us there either. We are now 0 for 10 on the power play. I mean, the penalty kill has been okay, better than it was in the regular season, but would like it to be better. But what it really comes down to is the power play. That is just a 0%. That is brutal. I mean, I'd be at least somewhat okay with it if we weren't letting as many goals as we were. With that 11 goals against so far in this series, not liking it. Do I let Shesterkin just play it through and try to battle it out? I think so, because he's the veteran goaltender, 30 years of age, 89 overall. We got that elite role. He needs to be able to bounce back. I expect that out of an 89 overall goaltender. So I'm not going to just throw Markkanen in there when he didn't even really have such a great regular season himself. Yeah, Shesterkin needs to see this through to the end, I think. Because like I said, I don't know how much of a difference Markkanen would actually make, especially since, with the exception of last game, we haven't really been scoring much. But the thing about last game is, of course, that we let in more goals than we scored. So I think that it just comes down to the players just have to step up. There's not much more I can do, honestly. All right, down 3-0. Come on, boys. Don't embarrass yourselves here, at the very least. First period. Oh, boy. Carlo on Shesterkin. Not looking good. 11 shots to 12, so we lead them there, but they lead on the score sheet and in the series. Second period. All right, Doughty with the goal. 22 shots to 21. Fairly even game. Just don't let it get out of hand, please. Try to, catch up in this series. Take it one game at a time. There you go. Doughty with another goal. The veteran stepping up. Keith Ho with a shorty, but then Radley Singh follows it up with a power play goal. Arizona on the power play once more. They cannot convert. What's going to happen in the last 5 minutes? Nazarov, the rookie Nazarov, gets the goal with 3:19 remaining, and that is our first win of the series, a 4-2 victory in game number 4. 3 stars of the game, Doughty, Shesterkin with a good game, and Keith Ho. All right, like I said, one game at a time. Let's just focus on game number 5 here at home. First period. All right, Pickenin gets the first goal of the game, but then Turcotte follows it up later in the period. I will certainly take it. Fairly even game as far as shots go. And on the score sheet, second period, there you go. 19 shots to 18. So once again, relatively even game as far as the shots go, but we had converted a lot more in that period. Lawton, Ho, and Olofsson on Grubauer. Ekman Larson on Shesterkin for Arizona. But we have the 2-goal lead headed into the third period. Come on, boys. There you go. Athanasiou with the goal, but Soderstrom follows it up on Shesterkin, so kind of shaky. Come on, Shesterkin, shut it down, bud. You have the offense. Now don't let any more by. And there we go, Pasternak with the insurance marker. It is now 6-3. And do we take this game? Yes, indeed we do, by the score of 6-3. 3 stars of the game are Olofsson, Pasternak, and Athanasiou. So just like that is now a 3-2 series. We have certainly climbed our way back into this. Let's not let off the gas now. Come on, boys. First period. All right, Kaliev with the goal. Play with the goal. 1-1 after 1. Shots once again relatively even. Second period. Oh boy, okay. So they have started to pour it on now. They have 29 shots to our 23, and they are leading 3-1 in this game. I know it's been a tough series, but find a way to win, please, LA. Please find a way to win. Power play for Arizona, nothing doing. Come on, boys. There you go, Lowry. Okay. Within 1. Come on, LA. They're getting a lot of shots on net now. 37, 28 for us. 5 minutes left. Is there going to be a last-minute hero, or do we lose this game? Yes, indeed, we do. And we are eliminated in round number 1 in 6 games. 3 stars of the game, Blay, Grubauer, and Ekman Larson. So going over the player stats now, Olofsson, Doughty, and Byfield with 5 points. They at least tried. Pasternak I would have liked to see more out of. Manson was good, Clark was good, Kaliev was good, Kopitar was good, Kulemin was good. Ho would have liked to see more out of him, especially with the regular season performance that he just had. Lowry was okay. Athanasiou was okay. Velarde was okay. Turcotte really was not good in this series. Only 1 goal, no assists. Yikes. Ehlers could have been a lot better too. So Turcotte, Ehlers kind of disappeared during the playoffs, unfortunately. And in goal, Shesterkin with a 903. He had a couple of rough games, but he also had a couple really good games as well, so I'm not entirely blaming him, but he definitely could have played better. As we get a look at the calendar here, 3-2 loss in game number 1. I'm not really blaming that loss on him. That wasn't really enough offense to get it done. 2-1 loss, once again, not blaming it on him. That was entirely on the offense. 6-5 loss, yeah, okay. All right, that was a rough game. 4-2 win, obviously good. A 6-3 win, obviously, once again, pretty good. And a 3-2 loss there in game number 6. Not entirely his fault, more or less the same thing as game number 1. Although the difference with game number 1, of course, was there was that brutal last second goal. So overall, Shesterkin played pretty well. It's just that one game right there in game number 3 that he really had a tough time with. The rest of our losses, I would say, are on our offense, for sure. And the playoffs are complete, and the Stanley Cup champions are the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Calder Cup champions are your Ontario Reigns. So at least we won a championship in one league this year, but it's unfortunate we could not get past the Arizona Coyotes. So good on the Ontario Reign there. They certainly look to have had a couple of really good years. Because remember, they won the Calder Cup back when we won the Stanley Cup as well, back in year number 2, I believe it was. So they've been pretty solid the past few years. And the draft lottery, Anaheim wins at number 1. Then you have Pittsburgh, Boston, San Jose, Ottawa, Montreal, Calgary, New Jersey, Detroit, Carolina, Winnipeg, Washington, Chicago, Vancouver, and Minnesota. The awards, the Stanley Cup, of course, goes to Tampa Bay. Buffalo wins the Presidents. It was Edmonton versus Tampa in the final. The Art Ross goes to Matthews on the Capitals. The Hart goes to McKinnon. The Norris goes to Hughes. The Lady Byng goes to McKinnon as well. The Calder goes to Ekman Larson of Vegas. Different Ekman Larson than the one we just faced on Arizona. Conn Smythe goes to Point. The Vezina goes to Kemper. The Jennings also goes to Kemper. The Masterton goes to Dursey. Jack Adams goes to Giordano on the New York Rangers. The Selke goes to Heischer. The Ted Lindsay goes to McKinnon. And the Maurice Richard goes to Popov of the Islanders. So that, I will end things off here. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we start the year 6 offseason and head into year number 7. See you guys then.